No matter where you're headed, and no matter how you get there, every path comes to a crossroads.
This is a moment! Live right here!
The road to a national championship is no different. Two historic powers.
Jets! Nobody gonna catch him!
Two legendary programs.
What a grab for 6!
Tonight, their paths cross. Owen Field, Gaylord Family, Oklahoma Memorial Stadium. And welcome to Norman, where we have a battle of two college football titans. Third-ranked Ohio State in town to take on the 14th-ranked Oklahoma Sooners. Oklahoma trying to rebound from their season-opening loss to Houston. A perfect opportunity this evening at home against one of the best teams in college football, Urban Meyer and his Buckeyes. Hi everybody, I'm Gus Johnson along with my partner Joel Klatt, and welcome to Norman. And it's really simple for Bob Stoops and his Sooners.
Right.
He told us that this game is do or die.
Well, the expectation for this program at Oklahoma is to play for and win national championships. In order for that to happen, they've got no margin for error after that opening week loss. And for Ohio State, it's all about the inexperienced players. With that comes uncertainty, Gus. All of those questions will be answered and addressed here tonight.
All right, our leading men are the quarterbacks tonight. Baker Mayfield for OU and JT Barrett for the Buckeyes.
Baker Mayfield is a playmaker, a gunslinger. He's best when the structure of the offense breaks down and he can get on the outside. Meanwhile, on the opposing side for Ohio State, JT Barrett is all about being a point guard and distributing the football to his talented offensive skill set players. The other side of this, though, the main part is the running backs for Oklahoma. They are the key players in this ball game. Joe Mixon and Samaje Perine, who brings the power. This duo is as good as it gets in college football. The power of Perine and the versatility and athleticism for Joe Mixon. If they're leaned upon by offensive coordinator Lincoln Riley, they're almost unbeatable. But the defense that they have to face tonight is a triple threat. This Ohio State defense has been absolutely excellent against the run, averaging under 3 yards per carry. But it's not just that. It's their ability to disrupt the timing of the offense by getting to the quarterback. That creates opportunities in the back end for their secondary, and they have capitalized on those opportunities. 3 interceptions returned for touchdowns so far this season. This is a young defense, it's an athletic defense, and they're ready for this test.
All right, Ohio State is the highest ranked opponent to come to Norman since 2008. Let's see if Bob Stoops' Sooners can turn up on Urban Meyer's third-ranked Buckeyes. Opening kick next. And welcome back to Fox College Football, presented by Geico. Norman, Oklahoma, big-time game here on Fox. Time now to join the third member of our team, Shannon Spake, who moments ago talked to OU head coach Bob Stoops.
Thanks, Gus. Well, Coach Stoops, Mother Nature wanted us to wait a little bit longer for this one. What are your biggest concerns when you have to sit through a delay before such a highly anticipated game?
Yeah, just everybody being able to maintain their focus and intensity, and feel like we managed it well. And now it's no excuses. You got to go play.
In your opinion, how does the outcome of this game impact the trajectory of the rest of your season?
Well, hey, I'm worried about winning this game, and that's it. That's all. The rest of the season, we'll see what happens.
Thank you so much,
I'm all
Gus.
in tonight.
All in. You heard him, Gus.
All right, Shannon, thank you very much. As Ohio State won the toss, deferred, Oklahoma will receive after a 90-minute game delay. Humidity high at 98%, but it feels good at Owen Field. Ohio State beating Tulsa last week 48-3 in Columbus. They experienced a 50-minute rain delay in that game. Oklahoma, they beat Louisiana Monroe here in Norman 59-17. A rebound game after losing to Houston in their season opener. Third meeting all time. Both teams ranked in the top 15 in each meeting. Ohio State, OU. Tyler Durbin will send it away. Joe Mixon back deep. It's football time in Oklahoma, and we're underway from Norman. This one will not be returned, and the Sooners will start from the 25. So a couple of things you want to know when Oklahoma has the football.
Baker Mayfield is such a playmaker, but at times he can get outside of him. He's at his best when he's calm and creative rather than anxious and erratic, which he was against Houston in week 1. On the defensive side, for Ohio State, Malik Hooker, 3 interceptions, leads the nations, and he's going to have his chances tonight because Mayfield's gunslinger mentality. Can they capitalize like they've done so in the first couple of weeks?
First major challenge for Ohio State. Urban Meyer 18-0 on the road as the head coach of the Buckeyes. 1st and 10 at the 25. And they'll hand it off to Samaje Perine on first down, and he's wrestled to the ground immediately. Chris Worley with the tackle, the outside linebacker.
This Ohio State defense worried about Oklahoma's tempo. They're going to see it right away.
No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10. Westbrook in motion. Play fake. They find Westbrook in the flats. He's got a lane. Burst of speed, and he'll be dragged down at the 42-yard line after a gain of 17. Damon Webb with the tackle.
This is when the tempo really picks up. After the first down of the game, Mayfield loves to go fast, and they're at the line of scrimmage once more.
1st down and 10 at the 42 for OU. Perine running straight ahead, lowers his shoulder, and is tackled by Worley once again. Also, Raekwon McMillan, the captain, a junior from Hinesville, Georgia, in on the play.
He's going to have to play great tonight. Raekwon McMillan, their best defender in the front 7, and he's going to be tested by Perine and Mixon all night long.
Gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Play fake. Mayfield rolling. Near side and caught out of bounds. He's got Mark Andrews, the redshirt sophomore from Scottsdale, Arizona. And that's a gain of 17 yards.
And if you ask the people around the program, they'll tell you that on the outside, Mark Andrews is the biggest threat, and that's the biggest worry for Urban Meyer in that secondary. In the slot, flexed out, the tight end is such a weapon.
Andrews averaging close to 31 yards per reception to start this season. And another handoff. Perine trying to break it outside, and he's gang tackled by the Buckeyes. Draymond Jones, first man to him.
In both of the first 2 weeks of the season versus Houston and Louisiana Monroe, Oklahoma went right down the field and were able to get into the end zone. This Buckeye defense has not allowed a touchdown yet in this season. Quite the battle here on the opening drive.
Oklahoma losing to Houston 33-23. 2nd and 8 at the 36. Mayfield steps up in the pocket. He has a lane, cuts it inside. Nice move. Baker Mayfield still on his feet and finally slides down inside the Buckeye 25-yard line. Jerome Baker gets him, but Mayfield showing his wheels, gains 12. Perine running left with a stiff arm, and he'll be dragged down at the Ohio State 20 by Jerome Baker. So a quick tempo offense for Oklahoma.
And in particular on that last play after the big run from Mayfield right back to the line of scrimmage. It's a simple handoff, but it gets them into this situation, Gus. When it's 2nd and what I would call a normal yardage like 6, you've got shots available down the field. That's what they love to do in this area.
2nd down, 6 at the 21. Perine again running left with a lane. Perine turns the corner and gets out of bounds at the Ohio State 10-yard line. Malik Hooker had to hop on and take a ride.
Check out the left side. Orlando Brown, number 78. Cody Ford, number 74, winning at the point of attack. Perine with a nice big hole, but 74 Cody Ford down on the play as he will be attended to at about the 21-yard line. And the left hash over there. He made an excellent block on that left side and really opened the hole for Samaje Perine to pick up big yardage for a first down.
So Ford, the redshirt freshman, Pineville, Louisiana, Pineville High School, as Bob Stoops watches from his perch. And one thing you knew about this game coming in between these two powerhouses, you knew it was going to be physical from the very first minute of the game.
And both of these teams desperately want to establish the run and be physical. Urban Meyer has lived by it. Oklahoma certainly has as well.
12:22 to go in the first quarter. Back right after this. Download the new Fox Sports VR mobile app to live stream today's game in virtual reality. It's as if you're watching from a VIP suite in the stadium. Download the app from iTunes or Google Play. No special equipment required. Owen Field here in Norman as Cody Ford is carted off the field. And how does that change the offensive line for OU?
Eric Wren, number 58, is going to come in and he'll move to center. And the center for the beginning of the game, Jonathan Alvarez, 68, moves to left guard.
First down and 10 at the 11-yard line. Opening drive for Oklahoma. Pirine hopping at the line of scrimmage. And he'll gain about a yard. We haven't seen Joe Mixon carry the ball. And he is a great change of pace running back.
The series has been all Samaje Perine. They've wanted to establish the power game, and that's certainly Perine. Coming in at 235 pounds, this guy is built like a tree trunk.
2nd and 9 at the 10. 10th play of the drive that started at the OU 25. Mayfield to throw. Steps in near side. Broken up at the last moment. Great job. Garyon Conley got a hand on it and redirected the football. Dede Westbrook, the intended receiver.
Well, here's Conley. Here he's going to break on the route as the corner, and this defense has been excellent getting their hand on the football. 7 interceptions so far. 3 of them returned for touchdowns, but Conley, one of the returning starters, only 3 of them on this defense, comes up with a big play early here.
Conley, a junior from Massillon, Ohio. 3rd and 9. First third down faced by Oklahoma. Mayfield under pressure. Mayfield throws on the move and incomplete. Great pursuit and great pressure by Ohio State. Sam Hubbard, who they're really high on, only a sophomore, in the backfield.
Well, here they're going to come around on this side, and the entire pass protection on that left side breaks down because Perine slides by the defensive end. It looks like he wanted that ball hot, but there was a linebacker sitting right there. Mayfield had no chance. I felt like he did the smart thing, throwing that ball away and setting up an easy field goal opportunity.
So Austin Seibert, who handles the place kicking and the punting, in to attempt a 27-yarder. And he hit the upright. Ohio State turns away OU. No score from Norman. Fox College Football presented by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Welcome back to Owen Field, Gaylord Family, Oklahoma Memorial Stadium, home to 7 national championships. But right now, the Ohio State Buckeyes offense on the field. Couple of things you need to know.
Curtis Samuel, versatile playmaker in the hybrid position, kind of like Percy Harvin for Urban Meyer of Florida. And this OU defense, they've got to find where their pass defense is, 113th in the country.
First down and 10 at the 20-yard line for Ohio State. And they'll hand it off to Samuel on first down. He'll crawl forward, get to the 25-yard line. Samuel, only the 2nd player from Brooklyn to ever play for Urban Meyer.
And this kid is dynamic. By the end of the year, I think everybody in America is going to know the name Curtis Samuel. 2nd
down and 5 at the 25. Mike Weber in the game and running back now. As Billy Price, the right guard, called for the false start.
Boy, you wouldn't anticipate Billy Price or Pat Elflein up there. Billy Price, the right guard. He's one of the 3 returning starters on the offense. 3rd consecutive season as a starter. He's a junior. He's played a lot of football, including that national championship a couple of years ago, but making a mistake early.
2nd down and 10 at the 20. Joe Thomas Barrett, JT. The quarterback for Ohio State. He'll run it. And stood up and knocked back. Maybe a 1-yard gain. Jordan Wade, Jordan Evans combining on the tackle for the Sooners.
The Sooners defensive front very big. Urban Meyer was concerned about the size of the front. Charles Walker 304, Wade 305, Diamond 285, active with their hands as well.
Opening drive for Ohio State, facing a 3rd down and 9 at the 21. Empty backfield for JT Barrett. Barrett with time over the middle and incomplete. Samuel, the intended receiver, and the Oklahoma defense sends Ohio State off the field 3 and out.
Well, he had all day to throw. That offensive line certainly did their job. And the rush from Oklahoma was interesting. They weren't necessarily trying to get to the quarterback, trying to hem him in, force him to throw it from the pocket, and not allowing JT Barrett to get outside.
Cameron Johnson will punt it away from his own 7-yard line. Joe Mixon, the dangerous one, hovering around the 35 for Oklahoma. This one angled toward the far side, end over end kick. And it takes an Ohio State bounce and will be downed at the 10. A 67-yard punt for Cameron Johnson, but here comes Baker Mayfield and the Oklahoma offense on the field again after this. Here are the Go RVing sights and sounds from this beautiful campus here in Norman, and the amazing atmosphere at Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium, and they were camping out yesterday morning.
You saw some of the RVs even pulling in Thursday night. They woke up, had a nice breakfast on Friday. What an atmosphere here in Norman. It's been fantastic. Heard about 30 to 60 RVs got in the line, drove down from Columbus. There were certainly a lot of them in the parking lot this morning.
1st down and 10 at the 11-yard line for Oklahoma. Baker Mayfield, 4th in the Heisman vote last year, 2-time walk-on player here and at Texas Tech. And he tucks it. And Mayfield, not a lot of room as he crosses the 10-yard line, gets up to the 11. Sam Hubbard. Once again, I like this Sam Hubbard. When you watch him on film, he's electric.
He is. Well, he's 6'5", so he's got the length. That's overlooked often for a defensive lineman, is the ability to extend your arms and get off of blocks. And he was able to do that on the last play.
2nd down and 10 at the 11. Joe Mixon now in the game at running back. Mayfield to throw it. Underneath, finds Mixon. Lost the ball and incomplete.
It looked from our angle like he may have caught it, but he was bobbling the entire way. Pops out of his hands, but there was green grass in front of him. Probably led to the incompletion because he was too excited to run. He probably had 25, 30 yards ahead of him if that ball is completed.
Joe Mixon leads the Big 12 and 12th nationally in yards per carry at close to 8 yards when he runs the football. 3rd and 10 at the 11. Mayfield out of the gun, steps up, fires far side, incomplete. Once again, Garyon Conley covering defensively. And he's come up with 2 very nice plays in the secondary to start this game.
Man-to-man coverage on the outside, and Conley has won both of his opportunities. A little bit of contact there. They're letting him play. He was just in excellent position. Mayfield wanted to go back shoulder to A.D. Miller, number 13, but couldn't get the ball outside far enough. And Conley with the 2nd quality play of the game.
So Austin Seibert will punt it out of his own end zone. Dontre Wilson standing at his own 45.
Some mistakes here early for Oklahoma, but I'll go back to that punt. You go back to that punt, from Cameron Johnston that pinned them inside the 20. What an amazing punt it was, and now he's completely flipped this field as Oklahoma is punting from their own end zone.
Seibert, 9 yards deep. And the ball rolls to the 45. Ohio State will have excellent field position for their second drive of the game. J.T. Barrett back on the field in a moment. Fox College Football presented by Geico is sponsored by Goodyear. Hard-working tires that deliver blimp-worthy performance. And by the 2017 Volkswagen Passat, you can get the value of more standard features for less than you expected. No score, 8:44 in the first quarter. Ohio State with great field position. Aerial coverage is brought to you by Goodyear. Tires as hardworking as college football's most blimp-worthy athletes. Goodyear, official sponsor of the college football playoff. Ohio State felt that they could have been in that playoff last year. Their only loss coming to Michigan State at home. They didn't run Ezekiel Elliott as much as they should have run Ezekiel Elliott.
That's probably the truth. They didn't trail in the fourth quarter of any game all year because the only time they lost was zeros on the clock.
First down and 10 at the 45 for J.T. Barrett and the Buckeyes. Here's Barrett. Drops it off. Samuel sprints toward the sideline and gets out of bounds at the Oklahoma 39. Parrish Cobb ushering him out of bounds.
Boy, it's just so sudden. You know, the speed from Samuel, it doesn't look like he's got a step, and all of a sudden he creates 2 steps of an advantage, gets to the sideline and creates a nice second and short opportunity plus territory. This is a great time for a shot.
Samuel averaging an 11.5 yards per touch from scrimmage. Empty backfield for Barrett. Barrett firing into the end zone. Samuel was open and he can't put it on him.
The most difficult throw of the game in a huge environment like this is the first deep ball, because you're always too excited and you don't realize it, and the tendency is to overthrow it, which Barrett does on that play. He has Samuel wide open. He creates the separation in the step. That should have been 6 for Ohio State.
J.T. Barrett, the 2014 National Freshman of the Year and Big Ten Quarterback of the Year. Last year he backed up Cardale Jones for the first 7 games. He started the final 5. 3rd and 5 of the 40. Barrett to run it straight ahead, and he's ambushed as he crosses the line of scrimmage, short of the first down. Nicely done on defense by Austin Roberts.
And Austin Roberts came dangerously close to that face mask. Oh, he got it. I thought he got it. Turns the head. Absolutely should have been a call there and an automatic first down, but the Buckeyes are going to stay on the field here. This is a spot on the field that you see so many 4th down attempts, and Urban's going to think about it. I think he's going to take a timeout here, let the clock dwindle down, and then decide.
And he does take the timeout. Ohio State will mull it over. 7:35 to play. First quarter. OU, OSU on Fox. Welcome back. These two perennial powers have met just twice previously, and not since 33 years ago here today, September 17th, 83, when number 6 Ohio State won a 24-14 decision over number 2 Oklahoma. 4th down and 1. Buckeyes going for it. Mike Weber, the freshman, in the backfield. Samuel lines up with him. Barrett handing it to Samuel around the corner with space. First down and more. Samuel, Brooklyn's finest touchdown. Ohio State 36 yards.
They're going to get the safety in a bind. As this motion goes across the field, you're going to see confusion for the Oklahoma defense. They don't know who should go over. They both stop, and that's what allows them to get the edge. As soon as that block takes place on the edge from Mike Weber, Samuel is gone for the touchdown. Excellent play for the Buckeyes.
Tyler Durbin in for the extra point, and it's good. Ohio State striking first blood. Curtis Samuel with blazing speed hits pay dirt. Buckeyes up 7-0. Curtis Samuel from Erasmus High School in Brooklyn, New York, dashes 36 yards for a touchdown. Ohio State scoring first on the road, up 7-0 now. Let's go to a Verizon game break after this kick. Let's see how Oklahoma responds. Tyler Durbin kicking it away. Joe Mixon, the deep man. Mixon will take a knee. Now let's check in with Mike Hill in Los Angeles.
All right, Gus, number 7, Stanford hosting USC. Christian McCaffrey trying to keep pace with Lamar Jackson in that Heisman race, and this is how you get it done. On 4th and goal, up and over on top. 2 touchdowns already for McCaffrey, 14-3 Cardinal, late second. Gus, Joel, back to you.
Tell you what, this kid from Louisville, I saw him last week against Syracuse on the road. This week against Florida State. He looks like RG3.
He does. Well, and a little mix of Michael Vick. I mean, the guy's amazing. Lamar Jackson and McCaffrey answering him tonight. McCaffrey also had a 56-yard TD catch to get things going for Stanford earlier tonight.
Oklahoma trying to get things going now, starting from their own 25, and they'll hand it to Mixon. And Mixon goes nowhere. Make that P-Rine as Tyquan Lewis brings him down.
We've seen Ohio State force the ball to Samuel. It's worked out. Oklahoma's got to get the ball in Mixon's hands.
2nd down and 9. Play fake. Mayfield standing strong in the pocket. Now flushed out. Wants to throw on a run near side. D.D. Westbrook with the catch. He turns it up. And Westbrook will get close to the 1st down.
Watch 25 Mixon. He's wide open down the middle of the field. Mayfield doesn't see him. He's right there. Mayfield starts to panic a little bit, gets out to the right, but still gets a completion.
3rd down and 1 for Oklahoma. Mixon with room. And Mixon with the 1st down as he crosses the 45 up to the 46. A gain of 12, and he has breakaway speed, Joel Klatt.
He's got suddenness. When he touches the ball, he almost takes your breath away, just like Curtis Samuel. You think something big is about to happen. Joe Mixon, incredibly athletic.
6'1", 226. 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line. Mayfield under pressure, buys time, slings it out. 1st down OU. Terrific job by Baker Mayfield as Geno Lewis gains 14.
There he is, the gunslinger, Baker Mayfield. When things break down and the structure of the offense is no longer there for him to operate, he is fantastic. Finds the open man, puts it right on his chest.
Fun to watch. 1st and 10 at the 40. And Mixon lowers his shoulder, big opening. Now that Oklahoma offensive line, even without Cody Ford, starting to fire off the football.
What we're starting to see now is a rhythm being established for both offenses, and it started with their offensive line. Great block on the last play by number 75, Drew Samia, from his right guard spot.
Gain of 8, 2nd and 2. And Mayfield giving it to P-Rine, and he runs into a wall. McMillan leading the way.
It's a big answer down for Oklahoma. Ohio State got the short field, capitalized, got in the end zone. This is an excellent drive for Bob Stoops and his offense. And they need this conversion right here as Lincoln Riley is going to try to dial something up. I would assume this is going to be another run, Gus.
3rd and 3 at the 33. Mayfield looks, throws, and incomplete. Mark Andrews, the intended receiver. Now Oklahoma with a decision.
Boy, Andrews ran just a spectacular route and got himself open, but Mayfield didn't set his feet in order to throw it accurately. But just as we saw Ohio State go for it on fourth down, Oklahoma will now go for it on fourth down. Wholesale changes here for Ohio State defensively.
4th down and 3 at the 33 for Oklahoma. Mayfield. And a timeout called by the Buckeyes. 4:45 to play first quarter, 7-0, Ohio State. Down 7-0, Oklahoma with the ball at the Ohio State 33-yard line, faced with a 4th and 3. In situations like this, Joel, what kind of plays does the offense want to run?
I always wanted to spread the defense out so you get more players in space, but then you get back to the run game. So you thin the defense out, get to the run game with a zone read. You've got a great athletic quarterback in number 6, Baker Mayfield, and a very powerful Samaje Perine.
And it looks like they are spreading them out. 2 receivers on both sides of the field. Perine, the single setback. On 4th and 3, Mayfield. That ball deflected at the line of scrimmage and picked off. Ohio State, huge turnover. Jerome Baker down the sideline. The Ohio State Buckeyes with the touchdown. Jalen Holmes tipping the ball at the line of scrimmage.
Here's Holmes, hand in the ground in his defensive lineman position. He gets way upfield, unblocked, and does the exact right thing. Hand in the face of Baker Mayfield, and then the opportunistic nature for Ohio State shows up again. Jerome Baker ends up in the end zone, their 4th touchdown in 3 weeks of football. Phenomenal defense.
The Buckeyes came into this game number 1 in the nation in points off turnovers with 38. Big interception and touchdown. Jerome Baker. Buckeyes up 14-zip. Baker Mayfield throwing the interception off the deflection. Ohio State, 3rd-ranked team in the nation, taking a 14-0 lead. A lot of questions about the Buckeyes coming in this game with only 6 returning starters.
The last thing you want to do against an inexperienced but talented team, give them momentum and a belief in themselves. This confidence looks like it's starting to grow for Urban Meyer and his young Buckeyes. 10 takeaways, 8 interceptions. They've been phenomenal.
Durbin kicking it deep. Joe Mixon will start inside his own 5-yard line. Mixon hopping through the... Oh! Watch out! He's a blazer. Can he get there? Yes, he can. Joe Mixon, 97 yards. He's no average Joe.
This guy is explosive, and he single-handedly gets them back in the ball game against Ohio State and re-energizes this OU crowd.
Austin Seibert in to attempt the extra point. Good. 4:20 to play in the first quarter. Things starting to heat up. Joe Mixon, 97 big ones. Urban Meyer knows he's in a fight. 14-7. Ohio State with the lead, but Oklahoma showing signs of life on this play.
Well, how about the help that Mixon gets? He's going to get 3 unbelievable blocks. First of all, number 13 gets blocked by number 20 right here from Oklahoma. And then 44, bang, gets number 34 for Ohio State. And one more, the 2 Buckeyes get blocked by the tight end from Oklahoma, and he's gone. So many great blocks, but then it was Mixon and his explosiveness. He steps out of the ankle tackle and ends up in the end zone.
First career kickoff return for a touchdown for Joe Mixon from Oakland, California, Freedom High School. Now Dontre Wilson will look for his opportunity for Ohio State. Wilson inside the 5. And he'll cross the 20, gets up to the 24, flag on the play at the 21-yard line.
Boy, what an answer from Oklahoma. All the momentum sitting with that Buckeye squad.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Return team number 11. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
It's Austin Mack. Get ready for MLB postseason, where all that matters is October. The NLDS starts October 7th on FS1. Can the Cubs do it this year, Joel?
Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
Can the OU defense find a way to slow down this Buckeye offense led by J.T. Barrett? 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line. Mike Weber, the freshman from Detroit, in the pistol. And they'll give it to him on 1st down. He breaks it inside, quick feet, stays on the move, gets to the 20, make it the 21-yard line. Will Johnson grabbed his ankle, brings him down.
This is one of the most powerful rushing attacks we've seen in the last couple of years. In fact, Ohio State since the beginning of 2013 is the best rushing team in the nation at 6.1 yards per carry. They've been dominant.
9-yard gain, 2nd and 1 at the 20. And this time a timeout by Oklahoma.
30-second charge timeout. Oklahoma. They're first.
Oklahoma getting back in this game because of this Mixon touchdown. But look at that. He actually drops the ball before he gets in the end zone.
Wow. There's no question that it was out and nobody caught it. Certainly can't go back and review it now as there's been the kickoff, but man, what a mistake. Gus, I just do not understand that. We see it all the time. Why there is a need to drop the football, but he got away with it. How big was that? Wow.
Second and 1 at the 20. High snap handled. Weber gets to the sideline. Weber down the sideline. Huge game for Mike Weber. Ahmad Thomas finally gets him, but he picks up 35 yards.
This block here, this double team is what's ultimately going to clean it up because it gets all the way to the linebacker, and then the linebacker gets eaten up inside, and the safety takes a bad route. Bad fundamental defense there from Oklahoma, and Ohio State makes them pay with Mike Weber, the redshirt freshman from Detroit. Excellent talent.
Mentored under Ezekiel Elliott last year. Mike Weber. This time it's Samuel trying to get outside, and he's wrapped up and taken down by Stephen Parker.
This offense shows you so many different formations. That's one of the most difficult parts about facing even a Tom Herman offense like Houston, and now an Urban Meyer offense and Ed Warner offense like Ohio State. Every play you're having to recognize and get yourself lined up and communicate in the back end. It leads to big plays for the offense.
Loss of 2, 2nd and 12.
Here they go again, another shift.
Barrett all day underneath, caught at the 40, short of the first down, as Dontre Wilson hauls it in. And that will bring up 3rd down and 5. Ohio State quickly to the line of scrimmage. Barrett looking, goes through his progressions, now rolls, wants to run it. 1st down, Ohio State, as J.T. Barrett uses his legs. And on 3rd and 5, he gains 9. Parrish Cobb with the tackle.
So man-to-man defense in the back end. I want you to look at the secondary. All the man, see, here's the man-to-man with the linebackers, then it's going to split, and there's nobody for the quarterback. The biggest threat on the field versus man defense is the quarterback's feet. Barrett knows it. He's an experienced guy, and he makes them pay with a conversion.
Last week against Tulsa, Barrett 14 of 22, 149 yards. He carried it 16 times for 55. Barrett again. That one a knuckleball and incomplete. Jordan Evans just couldn't gather it up. Now, while you're watching the game, grab your phone and head over to the Fox Sports Facebook page at the start of the 2nd quarter to join myself and Joel Klatt live in the booth.
Great push on that last play up front from Charles Walker, number 97. He actually got a hand on that ball.
2nd and 10. Barrett running it. He's got a blocker, cuts it inside. And Barrett gets to the 25, maybe the 24-yard line. Will Johnson, the outside linebacker, with the tackle.
This Oklahoma defense, much maligned, even though they played better than most people thought against Houston. Obviously gave up some big passing plays, but against the run they were very stout. But tonight, Ohio State has begun to get a rhythm rushing the football. We've seen now Weber, Samuel, and Barrett find success on the ground.
3rd down and 4. From the Oklahoma 25. Barrett runs it again. And a 1st down for the Buckeyes, plus some. J.T. Barrett dragging defenders with him. As he gets to the 12, Will Johnson had to hold on to his ankle.
And the emotion from Barrett. So we have an injured Sooner on the ground. But the thing about Barrett that shocks most people is when you get down close and see him in person, he's much bigger than you realize. Almost 225 pounds. He's 6'2". And when he wants to, he can be very difficult to tackle in the open field because of that strength in his lower half.
He's rushed for 1,700 yards and 25 touchdowns in his career. 3 carries for 27 yards on this drive. Right now, Jordan Wade, we believe number 93, on the field.
Jordan played in all 13 games with a start down there at tackle last season.
Looks like he's going to be okay. J.T. Barrett, as you mentioned, is a load at 6'2", 222.
That's what makes him so dangerous. You know, this guy exhausts all his possibilities throwing the football. You see him in the pocket, he goes through his entire progression. It's what makes it so difficult, because he forces the secondary to cover for a long time, and then he takes off and he's very difficult to tackle.
Getting close to the end of the first quarter, 35 seconds and counting, 1st down and 10. Ohio State. Weber back in the backfield. Weber breaks it outside, turns it up. And Weber gets to the 6. And that could take us to the end of the first quarter. Jordan Evans with the tackle. 2nd and 4.
We talked about the questions for the young Buckeyes, Gus. I believe they're answering them with a resounding, "We are ready."
14-7, Ohio State. Buckeyes with the lead, the ball, and threatening. Welcome back. Let's take a look at the Pacific Life game summary.
It's really been about Ohio State, for me, and what they've been able to do. In particular, running the football, 121 yards, rushing the football. OSU averaging 8.3 yards per play. They've been dominating, and it's just been the one kickoff return for Oklahoma that's kept them in the game. They've marched it a couple of times and fizzled out on their offensive drives, but they've got to find a way to get Joe Mixon involved in the offense. They've found a way there on the special teams, but he needs to touch the ball on the offensive side.
Right now, the defense has to hold for Oklahoma. Urban Meyer's offense with the football at the OU 7-yard line. 2nd down. And they need 3. JT Barrett running it, and this time he falls forward close to the 1st down. Jordan Wade and Emmanuel Beal with the tackle, keeping him out of the end zone.
That's one of those tendency type plays. Anytime you see the quarterback as the only back in the backfield and it's everybody out split wide, you've got to understand inside the 10-yard line, that's a classic quarterback draw formation, and that's what you just saw.
3rd down and 1 at the 4. Ball in motion. Barrett floats one in the corner. Touchdown, Buckeyes! Noah Brown.
They're trying to find their number 1 threat on the outside, and they're hoping it's going to be Noah Brown, incredibly athletic, and JT Barrett picks on the freshman corner, number 4, Parrish Cobb from Waco, Texas. He wants to go there the entire time. Great throw. The corner hasn't even looked yet, and he puts it right on that back shoulder of Noah Brown. That's why JT Barrett's one of the best in America.
Extra point up and good. 21-7 Ohio State. Start of the 2nd quarter. Yeah, the Buckeyes are young, but at Ohio State, you have killers waiting to play, and they're showing out early. 21-7, Ohio State leading on the road. Remember, Urban Meyer is perfect on the road at Ohio State, 18-0. And the receiver position, a concern or a question mark coming into this season?
I think it was more of a question mark because of all the guys that they've lost. Devin Smith, Jalen Marshall, Evan Spencer, Michael Thomas, just to name a few, and they've been needing some guys to step up. Noah Brown certainly did on that fade route for a touchdown on the last series.
Ohio State going on an 11-play, close to 90-yard drive. Buckeyes send it away. Can Joe Mixon do it again? He'll start at the 2. Mixon, this time chopped down as he crosses the 15 up to the 17-yard line. Now, every weekday morning, Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp go head-to-head on the day's hottest sports topics. Undisputed with Skip and Shannon, weekdays at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 6:30 a.m. Pacific, only on FS1. You were on the show this week.
Yeah, we talked, about a lot of things, but one of the things we talked about was Lamar Jackson. Even before this week, I thought coming into this week, Lamar Jackson, if the Heisman would be awarded today, would be the Heisman Trophy winner, and he did nothing but solidify that in that win, huge win over Florida State, scoring 63 points. He was 13 of 20 for 216, a touchdown through the air, and then he carried it 17 times for 146 yards. The dude's amazing.
Bob Petrino back at Louisville, and boy, is he turning heads in the college football world. The head coach, 1st and 10 of the 18. Baker Mayfield's got to get this offense going. Near side, caught. Dede Westbrook holds on. Garyon Conley, another tackle, and Conley may be hurt.
And that's not the Buckeye that they want to see on the ground. Conley's been terrific so far today. He's already broken up 2 passes, one of them right at the goal line, preventing a touchdown. He's one of the 3 returning starters on this Buckeye defense. And it's his turn to lead this group after Bradley Roby and Eli Apple departed and drafted in the first round, respectively.
Think about it. The Buckeyes returned just 6 starters from a 12-1 team a year ago. They had 12 players selected in the 2016 NFL draft, including 5 in the first round.
No. The first 20 picks.
The first 20 picks. Excuse me.
I mean, that's a quarter of the first 20 picks. It's like Roger Goodell was an honorary alumni of the Ohio State University. That's all he was saying for those first 20 picks.
Other players, second round, Michael Thomas, the wide receiver, Von Bell, the safety. Third round, Adolphus Washington, Braxton Miller, Nick Varnett. Fourth round, Joshua Perry, and my main man, Cardale Jones. Fox College Football presented by Geico is sponsored by AT&T, mobilizing your world. Welcome back. Don't forget to check out Breaking the Huddle with Joel Klatt on Facebook Live every Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern. Sponsored by Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, huge thanks to Dr. Pepper and what they were able to do and provide for us. We were actually live here from the campus last night, and I invited you, but you were busy prepping for the game.
You got to get your numbers up a little bit. I can't go in front of like 200 people, man. It's got to be more than that.
Oh, man. All right.
You got time.
We'll get it up.
Second down and 6 at the 22. Dimitri Flowers in the game at running back for Oklahoma. Mayfield. He'll hand it off. Here's a reverse. No. Westbrook with room. Westbrook looking for a lane. Westbrook still on his feet and finally upended inside Ohio State territory. That's a 35-yard gain as Damon Webb and Marshawn Lattimore bring him down.
I love what Lincoln Riley does here because last week they ran the reverse for a touchdown. So now he fakes it and he finds open grass for D.D. Westbrook.
First down and 10 at the 43. Mixon. And he'll lean forward and get to the 39.
There's Lincoln Riley. Came last year in his first year at Oklahoma. Ended up being the Broyles Award winner as the best assistant coach in the country. Coming from East Carolina, and he's certainly got his work cut out for him here tonight.
Third down and 7 at the 40. Mayfield to throw. Looking deep. Mayfield caught inside the 5. That's Miller. If he could have kept his feet under him, an easy touchdown.
A.D. Miller, 6'3", 195. Great win there. I thought that the defensive back there, who's number 2, Marshawn Lattimore, actually reached up and grabbed him. I could have seen a flag come out there because of that left hand. It felt like he grabbed him before the ball arrived, which ended up taking his balance away.
A 37-yard gain. First and goal at the Ohio State 3. Mayfield sprints out of the pocket, stops, in trouble, and sacked. Great pressure, Malik Hooker. The safety, Jalen Holmes as well.
As a quarterback, there's only 2 things that you cannot do in the red zone. 1, turn the ball over. 2, take a sack. It's putting a lot of pressure on this offense, in particular the play caller now at 2nd and long. In these situations, when you need long yardage in the red zone, the best weapon is the tight end. 81, Mark Andrews lined up to the slot, top of your screen right here.
A loss of 13 on the last play. Second and goal to the 16. Mayfield, there's Andrews right in and out of his hands. And he's hurt. And Bob Stoops can't understand.
Officials timeout for the injured player.
Damon Webb, number 7, comes from his safety position and delivers the blow with his shoulder to the chest. Legal hit. You know, Bob Stoops might want a flag. He's screaming for targeting right there, but I thought it was pretty legal. Leading with the shoulder into the chest of Andrews. What made it bad, though, is that off the play fake, Baker Mayfield actually made Andrews reach up. If that ball is framed on his chest, as we see Conley, number 8, the corner who was shaken up a moment ago, head for the locker room, as Andrews is on the opposite side of the field in the end zone, still on the ground. But that's what a quarterback kind of extending his receiver across the middle. That ball's got to be on his frame. 1, to protect himself, and 2, to keep the ball out of harm's way. It was a great concept. You know they're going to have to bite on the play fake to Mixon. So here's Mayfield. He fakes it to Mixon, and he's wide open right now. If Mayfield puts it on his frame right there at the hash mark, rather than making him kind of jump over towards the opposite safety, then I think they're going to have a catch. Now, clearly, Andrews could have caught the ball. He probably would have protected himself a little bit better if he's got the ball in between he and the hit of Damon Webb. Boy, a lot of things going on in that last play, and we'll hope that Mark Andrews is okay. He's one of their biggest threats on the outside, an excellent tight end.
3 receiving touchdowns in 2 games for Andrews, 64, 25, and 39 yards out. And I'm sure Mark would tell you, Joel, he should have caught the ball.
Yes, absolutely. But as a I'm nitpicking as a former quarterback, but that ball really should be framed up, in particular in the red zone when space tightens.
3rd down and goal at the 16. Joe Mixon in motion, lines up in the slot at the bottom of your screen. Empty backfield for Baker Mayfield. Mayfield, quick strike. Mixon in space, looking. And he'll go down inside the 10. Marshawn Lattimore, Raekwon McMillan combining on the tackle. A 7-yard gain.
They'll send the field goal unit out, and the Silver Bullets holding again. This young defense has been impressive so far. Oklahoma has driven the ball a couple of times, and Ohio State has bowed their neck. Still, this defense yet to give up a touchdown on the year.
A 27-yard attempt for Seibert. He's missed a 27-yarder in this game, hitting the right upright. This time it's good. So Oklahoma takes the 3, but their defense has to figure out a way to stop this man, Joe Thomas Barrett.
With you coming up on the State Farm halftime report. Big problems for Alabama. Not so much. They're able to overcome a trip to Ole Miss. And how about the statement Louisville made today versus Florida State? Highlights of that one. Plus, guys, 2nd straight week that the Big 12 replay officials botched one in the state of Oklahoma. We'll talk about it at the break. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Rob. JT Barrett ready to come back on the field. Some very interesting things happening in college football. Alabama down in that game. They managed to rally in Oxford. Louisville. Spectacular performance at home against Florida State, the number 2 ranked team in the nation. But right now we have the number 3 ranked team, Ohio State, making a huge statement with all these young Buckeyes. Up 21-10 on the road. Seibert will kick it away. Paris Campbell, the deep man for the Bucks. And he'll take a knee. All right, let's go to Los Angeles and check in with Mike Hill.
Hey, guys, look at what's happening in South Bend. Number 12, Michigan State putting a hammer on the 18th-ranked Irish. Gerald Holmes, what up, Holmes? 2nd TD of the game, 73 yards. That's 36 unanswered for Sparty. They're up 29 in the 3rd. Gus, Joel, back to you.
Anyone doubt Mark D'Antonio?
Nope.
Woo! That seems for real again. Reloading. Just like these Ohio State Buckeyes.
It's going to be very interesting in the Big Ten. Michigan playing better. Wisconsin with the huge win at home against LSU. Iowa losing today
to North Dakota State. They're never going to get a game again. No one's going to schedule them. They just come in and beat everybody.
JT Barrett near side, whistle blowing.
Prior to the snap, charge timeout, Ohio State, their 3rd and final.
So Ohio State out of timeouts with 11:04 to play in the 2nd quarter. College football is sponsored by Dr. Pepper. It's a college football tradition. And by Allstate, proud supporters of college football, it's good to be in good hands. 21-10, Ohio State leading Oklahoma. Let's take a look at some of Joel's top draft prospects in the Fox 50, sponsored by Sprint.
Raquan McMillan, great player. He's going to be in the top 15 for sure. And then Pat Elflein, I think, is a terrific player at the center position. He's moving around, and Samaje Perine has certainly got the eye of the scouts so far in his young career.
First down and 10 at the 25. And Ohio State running the football with J.T. Barrett. Tay Evans makes the stop.
This Oklahoma defense has been confused in the back end. They're back two levels, linebackers and secondary, several times during the course of this game. And Ohio State continually makes them pay. With simple play calls, Barrett doing the right thing, takes the draw with green grass in front of him.
2nd and 5 at the 30. Barrett hands it off straight ahead. Flag on the play. Samuel running the football.
I thought that was an offside on Oklahoma.
Offside. Defense number 97. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Charles Walker, the redshirt junior from Garland, Texas, called for the penalty. And one thing about J.T. Barrett, he's such a cerebral quarterback,
he is.
Joel.
He
And
is.
so poised in all situations since his freshman year.
You rarely see him get fired up, although he did so on that last series after a big run. He generally always does the right thing with the ball. This guy is surgical with the football, like some of the best point guards in the NBA. He can just deliver it on a dime.
2nd and 1 at the 34. Weber. And a first down for Ohio State. Austin Roberts with the stop. Now Weber's an interesting story. Born and raised in the state of Michigan, I thought the understanding was this. All the great players that Ohio State doesn't want go to Michigan. But no Michigan players go to Ohio State. Urban Meyer changed that in a heartbeat with this kid.
He did, and Mike Weber was one of the first recruits that actually Urban Meyer and Jim Harbaugh, who had just been hired when Weber was committing, that they tangled over. Urban Meyer won the battle.
First down and 10 at the 37. Barrett drops it off far side. He's got his receiver. That's Weber. Gets out of bounds. How great was it for this kid last year to sit behind a man like Ezekiel Elliott?
Well, a couple of things that you get to learn. One, the work ethic of a great player, and then two, the intangibles of finding space. You get to see him and watch film with him, and he can explain to you, hey, this is why I saw the backside safety the way I did. This is why I'm reading the guard and his block the way I did. That's invaluable tutelage from a guy like Ezekiel Elliott. You can tell that Mike Weber has certainly learned from one of the best.
2nd down and 4 at the 43. Buckeyes do not rebuild, rather, they reload.
And they didn't have any timeouts.
Away game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Let's go downstairs for more from Shannon.
Well, you guys talking about the relationship between Mike Weber and Ezekiel Elliott. They were actually roommates during fall camp, also for the bowl festivities. And Weber said, you know, Elliott really prepped me. He put me in the playbook and made things easier, really got me up to speed quicker. Obviously, we see that playing out.
Ezekiel Elliott starring with the Dallas Cowboys, 4th overall pick. 2nd down and 9 at the 38. J.T. Barrett under pressure, and they get to him for the first time. This time it's Ahmad Thomas, the free safety.
Here he comes. He's going to come all the way from his safety spot. And what he does great is he disguises. He didn't take off until the snap. I would call that a football term. He came from depth all the way where he was originally aligned, gets to the quarterback because J.T. Barrett had to hold it an extra beat.
The senior from Miami, Florida. Loss of 8 for Ohio State, 3rd and 17. Sooners want to get off the field and give Baker Mayfield another shot. J.T. Barrett over the middle, and it's caught. Samuel. But Curtis Samuel about a yard shy of the first down.
And how big are those timeouts that they had to waste because they didn't have one to save them from that delay of game? It puts them behind the chains, then they take a sack, and now they're going to have to punt the football away. It's the little things in football that make a difference. That's why Urban Meyer was so upset when J.T. Barrett took that delayed game, because he had no way out, no timeout left.
Cameron Johnson comes in to punt it away from the 31. His last punt, 68 yards. Joe Mixon, the deep man. And Mixon signaling for the fair catch, and he has it at the 14. A 41-yard punt. 7:01 to go, second quarter, 21-10. Let's take a look at what's taken place so far.
Wow, the electric one. The guy they compared to Percy Harvin, Samuel, got in the end zone, and it was the 4th touchdown of the year for the defense. The ensuing kickoff, Joe Mixon into the end zone, albeit he dropped the football. They didn't catch it before he went into the end zone. And then Noah Brown establishes himself with a fade route in the corner of the end zone. It's really been all Ohio State in their run game, because their run game has been dominant thus far. 161 total yards, 124 of those have come on the ground.
So impressed, though, with this young Buckeye team, especially the defense. They've been able to keep Oklahoma in front of them. First down and 10 at the 14. Mayfield running it. And Baker Mayfield will get to the 19-yard line before being taken down. Malik Hooker with the tackle. Second down, 4 at the 20 after the 6-yard pickup for Mayfield. Play fake, Mayfield rolls out in trouble, trying to get around the corner, fires down the field, picked off. Marshawn Lattimore. Another turnover for Oklahoma. The Ohio State defense just sitting in the weeds, waiting for him to make a mistake. Lattimore had the first 2-interception game of his career last week versus Tulsa, including a pick 6 for 40 yards.
It looks like he's got an open man, but then the makeup speed from Marshawn Lattimore, just a sophomore from Cleveland, Ohio. And he comes in huge. Mayfield thought he had some space there. Stoops knows it's a mistake. When you're throwing back across the field, you've got to throw it down the field, because if you throw it flat like that, Gus, it allows the undercut to happen from the corner.
And did I see Joey Bosa rushing the passer, putting that pressure on Mayfield?
No, sir. That was Nick Bosa, his younger brother, true freshman.
Wow. Now J.T. Barrett in the end zone. Touchdown. Noah Brown. 37 yards.
They're picking on the young corner, number 4, Parrish Cobb. He started last week. He has a hand all over Noah Brown, but Brown is still able to locate the ball, stay in bounds, and catch the touchdown.
Tyler Durbin in for the extra point. And good. So in the first half, the Buckeyes answering the question, can they still do it with all these young players? 28-10, that's the answer. Ohio State dominating Oklahoma on their home grounds. J.T. Barrett throws his second touchdown of the game. Buckeyes, though, with 52 points off turnovers in 3 games.
As we take a look at our KFC stat comparison, Buckeyes been dominant on the ground, but J.T. Barrett now picking it up through the air. A couple of touchdown passes to Noah Brown, including that strike on the last play.
Joe Mixon, the deep man, starts from his own 10. Gets to the sideline and is knocked out of bounds at the 27. 2 interceptions for Baker Mayfield in the first half. This young man was 4th in the Heisman voting last year. He walked on at Texas Tech, was Big 12 Player of the Year, left to come to Oklahoma, where he walked on here, given an extra year, so he has 2 years to play, this year and next year. But there are some pretty good quarterbacks behind him.
There are. Kyler Murray transferred into Oklahoma. He's sitting out due to NCAA transfer rules, but he's been the scout team quarterback. And then Austin Kendall been in the news this week, number 10, as he had some rather interesting comments about Ohio State's defense being rather basic, and they've been anything but here tonight.
First down and 10 to the 28. Pirine trying to get loose, and he'll get to the 33 before being slung down by Chris Worley.
Well, this is an interesting time of the game for Lincoln Riley, the offensive coordinator for Oklahoma. He's gotten away from the run game in situations like this. Last year against Texas, Clemson, and then early this season against Houston. We'll see if he sticks with it here tonight.
Second down and 5. Near side. Andrews back in, turns it up, has running room, gets to midfield before being knocked out of bounds. That's an 18-yard gain. Malik Hooker knocks him out of play.
This defense is ultra confident. Haven't given up a touchdown all season long. This drive, I believe it's imperative that OU breaks that and scores a touchdown to get back in this ball game.
5:18 to go in the second quarter. First and 10 at the 47. Pirine. And you talk about the Ohio State defense. Well, Urban Meyer during the offseason added a new wrinkle, a terrific coach to help out the defense.
Well, he's had Luke Fickell, who's been very good as a defensive coordinator, but he added Greg Schiano, former NFL head coach for the Tampa Bay Bucks and Rutgers head coach. And a guy of that ilk and experience is absolutely terrific. He works with the secondary. There he is right there. The head buried under his hands. He's done a great job thus far.
11 years as the head coach at Rutgers. And this is Mayfield with a gap. Mayfield stays on his feet and goes down at the 35. Oklahoma moving the ball now. Damon Webb with the tackle. 11-yard gain.
And good read there from Baker Mayfield. And he held that fake into the running back, Samaje Perine, for so long that he got the defense to commit. Then he pulled that ball out and he took off for the first down.
First down at the Ohio State 35. Mayfield play fake out of the pocket over the middle, caught, and here is A.D. Miller, touchdown Oklahoma, 35 yards. What a good drive for the Sooners.
Imperative drive. They had to break the streak. Too much confidence for that defense for Ohio State. Hadn't given up a touchdown all year. Oklahoma changes that in a very fast fashion. They go right back to the same type of concept that Mayfield just threw the interception on, and you see that he threw it so much harder across the middle of the field, and he framed him up. That ball right on the frame of A.D. Miller. He's correcting all the mistakes he had earlier in the game.
Seibert in to attempt the extra point, and it's good. 4:12 to play second quarter. Ohio State with the lead, but Oklahoma finding a rhythm on offense. Back to Norman after this. 28-17, Ohio State, third-ranked team in America, leading on the road here in the second quarter. Number 2 went down today, Florida State. Number 1, Alabama, received a scare against Ole Miss. Number 4, Michigan, receiving a scare against your Colorado Buckeyes. Colorado Buffaloes, excuse me.
I tell you, the Buffs are much better this year, and they clearly played like it today. No moral victories in this sport, as anyone will tell you, but in this ball game, Bob Stoops knew how important that drive was. I loved what Baker Mayfield did on that last drive. Gus, he just took what was there. He didn't try to go back and get everything back and erase the entire deficit. He just took what was there. They find themselves in the end zone.
So Seibert sending it away. Paris Campbell, the deep man for Ohio State. And he'll take a knee. Bob Stoops telling us in simple, plain words, this is a do-or-die game for us.
The expectations at this program, as I said in the open, are very clear. Play for and win national championships. They've done everything else, and they've won the national championship under Bob Stoops. but this team was built to go back to the playoff where they ended up a year ago losing to Clemson. They're not going to get there, at least in my estimation, with 2 losses. They might, very, very small chance, but their playoff lives are right here in front of them in the faces of these young Buckeyes.
First down and 10 at the 25 for Ohio State. JT Barrett has been brilliant in this first half.
Yeah, it's a delay of game again, Gus. They don't have a timeout to save them. Those early burn timeouts.
Delay of game offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Early in the game, the system of calling plays and getting people lined up because of the youth was having them making them burn timeouts. Urban Meyer very frustrated. What you don't want is this crowd to get back involved, which they are now.
First and 15. Samuel gets downfield. Samuel trying to break it outside. Another big gain for the Buckeyes as Quick makes the tackle, but it's a pickup of 18.
I mean, when you line up with Curtis Samuel in the open field, you're going to wind up tackling air. That guy is special, and he is bursting on the scene here tonight. An experienced player, but this guy is electric.
First down at the 38-yard line. JT Barrett to throw now. Barrett to the sideline, and it's caught. Paris Campbell. Buckeyes having no problems moving the football now. They have found a sensational rhythm in this game.
If you're going to play man coverage in the back end, you've got to put pressure on the quarterback. The front 4 for Oklahoma have not done so tonight against JT Barrett.
First down from the 46. Here's Samuel around the right side this time. And he'll be taken down at the 39. And coming into this game, when we talked to the Oklahoma coaches, you got the feeling, they didn't say this, we can't quote them as saying this, but you got the feeling that they felt if they stopped the run, they'd make JT Barrett beat them with his arm. And they didn't know if he could do it.
Well, unfortunately for OU, both is happening right now. He's beating them with his arm when he wants to, but they're also running the ball at will.
Second and 3 at the 39. Alexander in motion. Here's Barrett. The hitch near side. And this ball caught by James Clark, the junior from New Smyrna Beach, Florida. And when you look at Barrett, he always knows where to go with the football.
He's one of the smartest players in America at that position. You know, that's the difference between he and Baker Mayfield. Mayfield wants the structure of the offense to break down, very Menzel or Favre-esque. Meanwhile, JT Barrett, like I said, he's got point guard qualities. He's going to go out there and operate within the system. And that's not a bad thing because he's still an explosive player and can make plays, but he operates the system as good as anybody.
8 of 11, 94 yards and 2 touchdowns. Barrett handing it off to Weber. Weber will pick up a couple. Tay Evans, Jordan Wade with the tackle, but JT Barrett from Wichita Falls, Texas, grew up a Longhorn fan, wanted that call from Austin.
Didn't get it. Ended up a Buckeye, and I'm sure Buckeye Nation is pretty happy at this point.
Second and 7. Barrett again near side. This time James Clark out of bounds at the 27.
Look at the confusion again for Oklahoma. They've been running around like this all night long. They can't get lined up. They're in a reactionary mode. Ohio State is attacking the Oklahoma defense. It's not the other way around at this point. The formations and everything that they're having to get used to and recognize is making it very difficult on the Sooner defense.
3rd and 3 at the 28. Ohio State 3 of 6 on third down conversions. Barrett, pump fake, looking, bottled up, steps up, and will not get the first down. Terrific defensive stand that time by Oklahoma.
And he got great coverage. At the top of your screen, that's 16, Micah Quick, a junior, getting some playing time. And at the bottom of your screen, watch, they're trying to double move, but nobody bites on that double move. Barrett pumped, tried to go deep, Great discipline from OU, but the offense for Ohio State staying on the field here at 4th and short.
They need a yard. Urban Meyer rolling the dice. 4th down and 1. Weber has shown tremendous power running the football between the tackles. They give it to Samuel. 1st down, Buckeyes. One thing Bob Stoops said about Urban Meyer teams, they've only faced each other once in the national championship when Meyer was at Florida. Urban Meyer winning his 2nd. He said, Urban Meyer teams are so fundamentally sound.
At all facets. We've seen him win in the special teams.
Number 9 must lead the game for 1 play. Coming off a 3 play.
As Tay Evans gets attended to here, and he'll have to leave the field because his helmet came off as well. But all facets of the game for Urban Meyer. This is a guy that he talks about 3 things. An event plus a response equals an outcome. And he stresses to his players that all you control is the R factor, the response. You can't control the event. You can't control the outcome. So don't worry about those things. Control your response. That's what he stressed this week in practice. And that's certainly how they've played thus far.
Urban Meyer with a master's degree. Born in Toledo, grew up in Ashtabula, about 45 minutes away from Coach Bob Stoops, who is a Youngstown native. How come all the great coaches in the history of the game come from Ohio?
You know, they've got great coaches at all levels. I think it's because when they play, they get coached by great coaches.
Woody, Bo, just to name 2. 1st and 10 at the 21. Barrett, pump fake. Lets it go, incomplete. Intended for his tight end, Marcus Ball, on the play fake.
And he had him wide open, and Barrett paid the price there. He tried to stand in. He got absolutely drilled by number 26, Jordan Evans, a senior from Norman. I mean, he took a thunderous hit right in the chest and was just unable to get it to his tight end, Marcus Ball.
Barrett, the numbers. 10th play of the drive that started at the Ohio State 25. Buckeyes out of timeouts. Play fake. Barrett looks in the end zone, in the corner. Touchdown, Buckeyes! Noah Brown again. What a play!
Unbelievable. Oh my goodness.
Ruling on the field is a completed pass for a touchdown. That ruling is under further review.
He pinned that onto the corner's back, Micah Quick, with one hand and got the other hand on it.
I think the wide receiver questions have been answered for Ohio State.
Oh my goodness. We saw, I believe it was Michael Rector.
And he got both feet in bounds as well.
Both feet in bounds. Michael Rector from Stanford did the same thing against UCLA a year ago, if I'm not mistaken. But this catch was unreal. Maybe it was Owusu.
3 catches, 62 yards, and 3 touchdowns for Noah Brown.
That's as good as it gets. That is as good as it gets.
After further review, the ruling on the field of touchdown is confirmed.
Wow. Noah, he's got 3 of everything.
Unbelievable.
And the Sooners are shocked. (35-17) first half. JT Barrett, 3 touchdowns in the first half. All to this man.
They don't have an answer for Noah Brown. You talk about a breakout party for a player in a huge stage. Noah Brown, they thought he was going to break out onto this stage last year, but he had a devastating leg injury in fall camp. Ended his season. So big things expected from Noah Brown this season, and he is answering so far. 3 touchdowns on the night so far.
10-play drive covering 75 yards. Buckeyes eat up 406 with 6 seconds remaining in the half.
And it's clear that Oklahoma doesn't have an answer on that side of their defense. They've tried Parrish Cobb, the true freshman. Now they've tried Micah Quick. The deal is that Ohio State is just putting Noah Brown on the opposite side of Jordan Thomas. That's the best corner for Oklahoma. 7, Jordan Thomas. And they're just using their formation to get an advantage and get a mismatch and then winning that one-on-one battle.
6 seconds remaining in the first half. Ohio State has taken the air out of this building. Line drive kick by Durbin, and it's down at the 29.
That catch, Stanford UCLA, was Owusu last year. I knew it was a Stanford player he made, but it wasn't like that. I mean, one hand to pin it on his back. I've never seen anything like that.
And 2 feet in bounds.
Oh, my goodness. How good are these young Buckeyes?
Man. A lot of smiles on that Ohio State sideline. Sending a clear message to the college football world with this first half performance. Barrett 10 of 14, 120 yards and 3 touchdowns. Brown 3 catches, 62 yards, 3 receiving touchdowns. Samuel 6 carries, 69 yards, a rushing touchdown. Oklahoma will take a knee, and that's the end of the first half. 35-17. The ready to start the second half. Third-ranked Ohio State with a 35-17 lead on the road over Oklahoma. Gus Johnson along with Joel Klatt, partner. These young Buckeyes are scary.
They got some dudes over there. I mean, they can play. They can flat play, even though they're young and inexperienced, and they're gaining that experience as we have right in front of our eyes in the first half, including Noah Brown. I mean, they needed an outside threat. 3 touchdowns in the first half, and the last one was like highlight reel like you can't even imagine. I mean, he had some great catches, and then all of a sudden he pins it to Micah Quick's back. This is the problem for Oklahoma. They need to get aggressive, like Coach Wanstead said there at the halftime, with their front and blitz. The problem is they don't have a corner that can cover Noah Brown at this time as we take a look at our Pacific Life game summary. And Ohio State has been doing whatever they wanted to do. Passing the football there in the second quarter. They started running the ball exceptionally well, 158 yards thus far in the night. Curtis Samuel has got 69 of those. Mike Weber, 57 of those yards. And Noah Brown with the 3 catches, 62 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's just been sensational so far.
All right, Ohio State won the toss in the first half, deferred, so they'll get the football to start the second half. If you're Oklahoma, how do you slow these guys down on offense?
Well, this is the hard part, and you heard the guys talking about it there at halftime, and you've got to either be okay with taking chances and blitz the quarterback like we saw him do a couple of times, and Coach was exactly right. They blitzed the safety. Ahmad Thomas got a sack. They blitzed at another point in the game. Jordan Evans, the linebacker, hits J.T. Barrett. He forces the ball out of his hand a little bit early, and it's incomplete down the sideline. I believe they should go that route because just sitting there and trying to go toe-to-toe with some of these Buckeyes is not working right now. So look for Oklahoma and Mike Stoops, the defensive coordinator, to get aggressive with his play calls.
Paris Campbell standing at his own goal line, ready to return as Austin Seibert sends it away. Start of the second half from Norman. And the Buckeyes will start from their own 25. Let's check in with Shannon Spake.
Well, Gus, for Bob Stoops, he told us yesterday that those receivers and how they deal with those receivers was one of his biggest concerns. For him coming out of the locker room, he said, what must change in this game? Those 3 jump balls to the same side of the field. I asked him who specifically they'll start on Noah Brown, and he said, who we have is who we have. They just need to do their jobs. Offensively, Coach Stoops likes what he sees. He just pointed out the turnovers. He sees feels like they've been effective. They just have to hang on to the ball and not make mistakes.
All right, thank you very much, Shannon. As Ohio State will start from the 25, J.T. Barrett, 10 of 14, 120 yards, 3 touchdown passes in the first half, no interceptions. He hands it off to Curtis Samuel, breaks the tackle in the backfield. He sprints to the sideline with running room, picks up the first down. Curtis with a nice run, and in the first half he had 71 yards rushing on 6 carries.
Austin Roberts, 95, is in the backfield, has Samuel dead to rights, but the strength of Curtis Samuel, he's only 5'11", 197 pounds, but man from Brooklyn showing some strength.
First down and 10 at the 39. High snap handled by Barrett. He decides to run it, gets outside, and stiff arms his way for another first down. J.T. Barrett in the first half, 9 carries, 40 yards.
I love the block here. Michael Jordan, the true freshman, and Jamarco Jones, the left tackle. They get the double team, and then it gets all the way up to the linebacker. Great lead block by Mike Weber, number 25, and an easy run for a first down for J.T. Barrett.
Back-to-back 14-yard gains for Ohio State at the 47, opening drive of the second half. And this is Barrett with some misdirection, lost the football. But it looks like another first down for the Buckeyes.
Well, he loses the ball as Emmanuel Beal is bringing him down, and just right off the heel of his own player, and it's that left hand. He corralled the ball, got it right back, and recovered his own fumble.
Recovered by the offense. That ruling is under further review.
Definitely lost it before that elbow or forearm hits the ground. They'll look for a clear recovery on replay, and they're going to find one for J.T. Barrett right between the knees and to his chest. Boy, those are the opportunities that Oklahoma desperately needs. They need a turnover, something to stop this momentum from going against them as Ohio State comes out and starts marching right down the field. They had an opportunity there, but the fortunate bounce for Barrett comes right back to that left hand, and he's able to corral it in.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. First down.
So for Ohio State, their first possession of the game ended up with a punt. After that, touchdown, 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 touchdown. 4 possessions, 4 touchdowns.
It's like what we saw them do to Bowling Green in their first game. They started out, Barrett threw an interception that ended in a pick 6, and they rattled off successive touchdowns after that.
2nd and 1 at the 38. Barrett under pressure, steps up in the pocket, looks for the first down and has it. As he gets to the Oklahoma 33, DJ Ward brings him down.
As a quarterback in this situation, when you've got the momentum, the crowd is subdued, the last thing you want to do is be the impetus to create momentum for the opposition. And Barrett is perfect in these situations because he doesn't put the ball in harm's way.
First down at the Oklahoma 32. Weber breaks it outside on the move. Weber. And another first down for Ohio State. Ahmad Thomas knocks him out of play, but the freshman showing great vision on that run.
And then the speed to get the corner. Defense did a great job early. This defensive front 4 has played pretty well, but these linebackers continue to get out of their lanes and out of their responsibilities, and Weber's able to find the corner, and he's able to convert.
Empty backfield now for J.T. Barrett. Ball in motion. And some movement on the right side. Isaiah Prince.
Ball start. Offense number 59. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Prince, such a talented Buckeye, was one of only 4 true freshmen to play on that loaded Buckeyes team from a year ago. Was a U.S. Army All-American. Comes in from Greenbelt, Maryland. Just a little early start there on first down.
1st and 15. Barrett rolling out on the run. Incomplete. That one thrown a little bit low for Corey Smith.
Well, here's your opportunity if you're Oklahoma. What you cannot afford to do is allow Ohio State the opportunity for a manageable 3rd down. This is where Bob Stoops needs to dial up the pressure, force the ball out of JT Barrett's hand quickly, and try to rally up and make the tackle.
2nd and 15. Barrett gives it to Samuel. And Samuel, face mask coming up against Oklahoma. Micah Quick trying to bring him down. He grabbed the face mask.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense number 16. Half the distance from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
And there's that right hand. Turns the face mask, turns ahead. It's going to draw a flag right away, and that opportunity that Oklahoma has to potentially force a kick, a field goal opportunity for Ohio State, quickly evaporates. And those are frustrating because those are not born out of mental errors. You know, he's hustling. He's not trying to commit a penalty, but right hand clearly on the face mask.
Ball now on the Oklahoma 13, opening drive of the 2nd half for the Buckeyes. Barrett. Option. Samuel. Stiff arm down the sideline, and he's taken down short of the first down by Quick. And he'll gain on the play 8 yards.
You know, these plays are being defensed very well, but it's the speed of Samuel or Weber to get to the corner, and they're still gaining 5, 6, 7, 8 yards a pop. And that's the frustration of a head coach that knows that they can't do anything schematically right now to stop what Ohio State is doing.
2nd and 2 from the 5. Barrett sprints out and throws it out of play. Flag on the play, though. And this will go against Ohio State.
Illegal formation. 5 men in the backfield. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Now here's where Mike Stoops, the defensive coordinator, this is where he's got the option. This is where they've been singling up Noah Brown and getting him on these corners and throwing those one-on-one 50-50 balls in the corner of the end zone.
Wildcat formation. Samuel straight ahead. And Samuel gains a couple as he goes down Emmanuel Beal with the tackle after a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, great play there from Emmanuel Beal. He was a junior college transfer from Lackawanna Junior College. He filled the hole beautifully there and arrived with a physical nature. Stopped Samuel right in his tracks, but now it's the big down. Can they get off the field here?
3rd down and 5 at the 8. Play fake. Barrett, corner, touchdown. Noah Brown, 4 receiving touchdowns in this game. How simple can it get for Ohio State?
Same side of the field, different matchup. Oklahoma goes with their best corner, Jordan Thomas, follows him around, then he turns his head too quickly. Brown drops out. Excellent route, easy throw, touchdown Buckeyes.
4 catches, 72 yards, 4 touchdowns. for Noah Brown, the young man from New Jersey. Extra point is good. 42-17. Ohio State. Fox College Football presented by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And sponsored by Cadillac. And by T-Mobile, bringing you greater coverage of today's game. Noah Brown has tied an Ohio State school record with 4 receiving touchdowns in a game. Dan Sanzenbacher did it against Eastern Michigan in 2010. Terry Glenn had 4 touchdowns at Pitt in '95, and Bob Grimes had 4 receiving touchdowns against Washington State in 1952. And we still have 10 minutes and 39 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
What a weapon he is on the outside. Great route runner, and now we've seen the ability he has in the 50-50 situation to come away with the football.
So Oklahoma will get it at the 25-yard line. Get ready for MLB postseason, where all that matters is October. The NLDS starts October 7th on FS1. And sometimes you get the feeling that if somebody hired Urban Meyer to coach baseball or basketball or hockey or soccer or highlight or anything, the same result would take place.
You know, we asked some of his assistant coaches and his players what makes him so special, and it's not some magic formula, but they do say that he motivates you every single day, whether it's his assistant coaches or his players.
On first down, P. Ryan running right and with some room gets a first down and out of bounds. A 20-yard gain for Samaje P. Ryan, and that's his 11th carry of the game.
There's no other way into this game other than sticking with your game plan. You can't just go start slinging it all around the field like they tried to against Houston. They've got to stick with what got them here, which was handing the football off and trying to establish that offensive line.
Baker Mayfield up the sideline on the back shoulder throw, incomplete. Dede Westbrook, the intended receiver. That ball thrown low. Denzel Ward covering for the Bucks.
This young secondary for Ohio State has been so good early in this season. Jordan Conley, Hooker, Webb, Lattimore, been excellent.
2nd and 10. Mayfield 9 of 18, 158 yards. This one thrown, and Michael Jones with the reception. He'll pick up about 3 on the play. Damon Webb. Third down and 7. Oklahoma 1 of 5 on third down conversions. Mayfield off his back foot and incomplete. Mark Andrews, the intended receiver. And Oklahoma will have to punt it away.
Ohio State's winning the one-on-one matchup. Doing an excellent job in the back end. Damon Arnott, redshirt freshman, coming in. Excellent coverage on these wide receivers all night long. Been very difficult for Baker Mayfield to find space or windows to throw the ball when Ohio State's been in man coverage.
Seibert punting from the 34. Dontre Wilson, the deep man. This ball whistled dead before the snap.
Ball start. Offense number 11. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
Dede Westbrook. And you see a lot of dejected faces on that Oklahoma sideline. Almost bewilderment. What has taken place? Who are these men in these scarlet and gray uniforms? Wilson comes up, and the ball out of bounds at the 30. 42-17. J.T. Barrett, the efficient one, ready to come back on the field. Fox College Football is sponsored by Pacific Life, helping generations of families achieve long-term financial security for over 145 years. 42-17, Ohio State. 9:23 to go, third quarter. Aerial coverage is brought to you by Goodyear. Tires as hardworking as college football's most blimp-worthy athletes. Goodyear, official sponsor for the college football playoff. Ohio State starts at the 30-yard line. J.T. Barrett, flawless. Weber with the running room, and he'll get to the 36. Let's go to L.A. and check in with Mike Hill.
All right, guys, number 11, Texas at Cal. Remember, Cal beat them last year, but that's when they had Jared Goff, and Texas was a different team. Chris Warren, 12-yard touchdown run, giving the Horns a 17-7 lead right there. Texas starting quarterback Shane Buechele has been knocked out of this game with a chest injury. Tyrone Swoops is in right now. Gus Joel.
The 18-wheeler in charge right now for Charlie Strong. Here's a 16-wheeler as J.T. Barrett gains a half yard on the play. Texas with the big win at home against Notre Dame to get their season started. As you take a look at the last 5 drives for the Bucks.
Just nothing Oklahoma has done has worked. They've tried so many different things against this Urban Meyer offense. They've been in position but not been able to make plays. They've tried to dial some things up and created big opportunities for runs. Ohio State has just been flawless tonight.
3rd down and 3. Oklahoma with a chance to get off the field. Here's Barrett. Steps up in the pocket looking for the first down. Flag on the play. Let's see.
I think they're going to get big Jamarco Jones, number 74, in the backfield, potentially with a hold.
And holding is the call.
There he is up top. The left tackle. Great move by Obo Okoronkwo, the outside linebacker.
10 yards from the previous spot. Repeat, 3rd down.
So that will make it 3rd down and 13.
That inside move, that spin move, that athleticism. Okoronkwo is the best pass rusher that Oklahoma has and just displayed it right there against Jamarco Jones, who had no choice but to bring him down to the ground.
They make it 3rd and 12. J.T. Barrett near side, ball caught. McLaurin, and he will not have enough for the first down. So Oklahoma, their defense holding this time as Ohio State brings on the punt team. Jordan Evans defensively for OU.
And comebacks are kind of like puzzles, Gus. You know, it can only happen one piece at a time. You don't get it all back right away. So it starts with getting off the field. Then you've got to provide yourself some good field position. Joe Mixon back to receive the punt.
He's at his own 20. Cameron Johnson angles it toward the near side. And fair caught at the 11. A 52-yard punt, and it's been a frustrating night for Bob Stoops. Let's see if he can figure out how to solve this Ohio State mystery. Dating back over 100 years, the Roughnecks are the spirit group that generates excitement for the fans and are in charge of one of the greatest traditions at Oklahoma, the Sooner Schooner. Powered by 2 horses named Boomer and Sooner, they ride across the field after each Oklahoma score. Our traditions of the game is sponsored by Dr. Pepper. It's a college football tradition. What I don't understand, Joel, is the Sooners during the land rush cheated. Why do they celebrate them?
They were the ones that took off the night before.
That's right.
The Boomers were the ones that actually lined up on the line and did it right.
So why did they celebrate the Sooners?
Got to get that land.
I guess if you're not first,
you're last.
Joe Mixon running the ball. Robert Landers with the tackle. There, the Roughnecks
Mixon has had a frustrating night on the offensive side. There gets bent over that right leg.
Baker Mayfield flushed out of the pocket, throws on the move, incomplete. Intended for D.D. Westbrook. And now you look at the body language of the Sooners now. You can tell that they're looking for something inspiring to happen.
Not a lot of energy on that sideline, not a lot of energy in this building right now. And you have to credit Ohio State for taking that away. You know, there's been opportunities for Oklahoma to try to generate that, but the turnovers took that away, and Ohio State's run game and J.T. Barrett's ability to throw the ball, in particular in the red zone, has been exquisite.
3rd down and 10 at the 12. And a timeout called by Baker Mayfield. 6:41 to play, 3rd quarter. 42-17. Ohio State. Let's go downstairs to Shannon Spake.
Gus, you know, it's no question that this Oklahoma offense is frustrated. They've watched this Ohio State offense run up and down the field. Baker Mayfield told his guys, listen, we cannot control what they are doing out there. We will eventually get stopped. We just have to keep doing our jobs. But both of you guys mentioned the energy in this crowd. It is flat. I couldn't hear myself before, and now it is just gone.
And that's because of this tremendous performance by Ohio State on the road. Not a lot to cheer for the Sooner fans. 3rd down and 10 at the 12. Mayfield over the middle and a 1st down. And that's Mark Andrews fighting for more yardage. He picks up 15 on 3rd and 10, and that'll move the chains for OU.
Great anticipation here from Mayfield. Excellent job. Andrews clears the linebacker, settles in that hole for an easy completion.
Joe Mixon running, trying to get to the corner, and Mixon finally taken down by Malik Hooker. But a big gain of 30 yards.
And Mixon finally gets going offensively. We saw the big return, but now as a running back finds a lane.
1st down at the Ohio State 42. Near side, A.D. Miller. And Miller stopped by Marshawn Lattimore. Tell you what, these Ohio State defensive backs are doing a nice job of tackling in space.
Yeah, it's one of the things that's even more important now than it's ever been, because offenses utilize the entire field. They're so spread out. You're going to be in space in one-on-one situations, and they're tackling beautifully.
2nd down and 9. Mayfield stops, fires. Oh, incomplete. What a hit that time. Denzel Ward delivering the wood on Mark Andrews.
And Ward falls off of the player that he was guarding, which was D.D. Westbrook, and just right into the lap of Andrews. Just an excellent defensive play, and again, goes to the chest. Doesn't hit him in the head or neck area, but a vicious hit.
Third down and 9 at the 41. .546 to play, 3rd quarter. 42-17. We'll step away for a moment. Back after this. Baker Mayfield trying to motivate his team. As you take a look on 3rd down, faced with a 3rd and 9 at the 41. Here's Mayfield over the middle and caught. 1st down. Nicely done. Geno Lewis, the redshirt senior from Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, with the grab.
He's the backup to Mark Andrews, who took that big hit, and that 3rd down opportunity from the slot, that flex position, gets open. Great ball from Mayfield.
1st down to the 27. Mixon turns a corner. Still running, and Mixon picks up a 1st down. Chris Worley finally knocks him out of play, but it's a 14-yard gain.
Yeah, that's what just sheer speed will do for you, is that Ohio State was in the right position. We've seen this from Curtis Samuel on the other side all night long. The safety from Ohio State comes up, Damon Webb in the right position. Mixon just beats him to the corner.
Make it a 17-yard gain. 1st down and goal at the 10. Mixon. And Mixon falling forward. Worley caught him in the backfield.
You know, this is the type of scenario. I know it's only the third quarter, but, you know, the way that Ohio State's offense has been playing, I assume this might be that 4-down territory where you're going to go for the end zone regardless here rather than potentially kicking a field goal.
2nd and goal at the 8. Pirine back in for Mixon. Mayfield reverses his field. Looking. Decides to run it. And will get out of bounds inside the 5. McMillan, Worley combining on the stop. So Baker Mayfield picks up about 3. 3rd down goal at the 5.
Andrews back in the game after taking that big hit. He's lined up on the right side, right up here. They love him in these situations.
Mayfield runs that way. Andrews open. Touchdown, Oklahoma. Great call, partner. Andrews found the soft spot underneath, and we've got a 42-23 game.
This is just an excellent route. Watch, he's going to come up, out, and then actually go back to the middle of the field. He sells it beautifully, gives all the way 2 steps. The man defender, number 7, Damon Webb, bites all the way over the top. Easy touchdown for Oklahoma. Excellent drive for the Sooners.
Extra point good for Seibert. 42-24. What's that route called, partner?
We used to call it a nod route. You nod to the flat and then you go to the post. Andrews executed perfectly. Stoops, something to cheer about. Sooners got some energy.
(42-24). Baker Mayfield being looked at on the Oklahoma sideline as they try to cover him up. And we ran into Baker yesterday at the OU facility. He's a big guy, big strong guy, broad shoulders, thicker than you would imagine.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Ohio State's coaches said, but he's not using that right arm for any 5s as he comes to the bench, and now he's huddled behind that towel, getting attended to. 14-26, 196 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did have those 2 interceptions. He's run the ball 6 times for 18 yards.
Joe
tonight.
Burrow is the freshman backup, and Campbell picks it up inside the 5, gets to the 20, now the 30. Campbell up the sideline and out of bounds as he crosses the 45. Time for a game break. Here's Mike Hill.
Gus, got an exciting finish between number 16 Georgia and Mizzou. Dogs down 6, just under 2 minutes left. On 4th and 10, Jacob Eason found Isaiah McKenzie for the 20-yard score. Georgia wins it 28-27, improved to 3-0 on the season. Gus, Joel?
All right, thank you very much. Let me correct myself. Austin Kendall, the backup for Baker Mayfield. Joe Burrow, the backup for J.T. Barrett. But so far, Barrett looks like he's going to have no problems playing the rest of this game as they run it with Mike Weber.
For this defense, it starts with stopping the run. They've got to get that established first, and then they can start attacking the quarterback and disrupting the timing of what J.T. Barrett's been able to do in the pocket. So it starts with that down 3. Number 97, Charles Walker. Number 90, Neville Gallimore, a redshirt freshman, excellent talent. These guys got to get some push and stop the run in order to get their club back in this ball game.
2nd and 8 at the 48. Barrett tucks it, and it'll be tackled for a loss. Nice job by Jordan Wade and Emmanuel Beal.
Jordan Wade, 305. The senior played in all 13 games a year ago. This is a guy that gets excellent push from that nose tackle spot, which is so critical when you run this 3-man defensive front. And here's the opportunity OU needs, a chance to get off the field against J.T. Barrett.
3rd down and 8 at the 48. Buckeyes need to go to the 44 for first down. Empty backfield for J.T. Barrett. Under pressure, Barrett throws complete to Brown, but not enough for the first down as he gets to midfield.
Well, here comes the pressure. Mike Stoops, defensive coordinator, dialing it up. They're going to bring the slot defender, who's Emmanuel Beal, the linebacker. He's coming in pressure. He disrupts the timing. You've got some defensive line pressure. And what do you know? Oklahoma gets off the field, and here come the Sooners. You can start to feel the energy a little bit after the scoring drive from their offense. Their defense certainly answered the bell here.
Joe Mixon has already been special on kickoff return, returning 197 yards for a touchdown. Can he do it on the punt return team? He's back deep.
It's like Ohio State's going to take the delay of game, which is only going to help Cameron Johnston, who's been one of the best in the country at pinning teams inside the 20-yard line in his career. Been an excellent punter. You heard Coach Wanstead talk about him during the halftime. He's been excellent so far tonight. We'll see if he can do it again here to the Sooners.
He's had punts of 68, 41, and 52 yards. And it will be fair caught at the 10. A 45-yard punt. So the Sooners offense come back on the field. Baker Mayfield had his shoulder worked on when he was on the sideline.
Mayfield's in the huddle. Kendall was right there, number 10 as well, but Mayfield's the ultimate competitor. He's tough. He's scrappy. This is the type of game that you just never know. They can be patient. It's still the third quarter. Excellent drive on the last series. And now some momentum starting to be formed here by the Sooners.
They'll start from their own 10. Pirine.
Well, they've just had Pirine's number. This is 12th carry for just under 4 yards a pop. And he just hasn't been able to get loose thus far tonight.
2nd and 7 after the 3-yard gain. Mayfield looking to throw, pumps, looks the other side. Finally lets it fly. D.D. Westbrook. Did he haul it in? Yes, he did. A 22-yard gain.
And just like Ohio State was looking for their number 1 wide receiver to step up, that's exactly what Oklahoma needs from D.D. Westbrook. He runs a great route. That's an excellent ball from Mayfield, and then D.D. Westbrook wrestles it away.
Mayfield handing it off. This time Mixon slicing through the Ohio State defense and gets to the 40. Jalen Holmes with the tackle. Now Mixon will come out. Pirine back in the game. 2nd and 5. Pirine with the lane, but it closes immediately. Nicely done by Devon Hamilton, the freshman from Pickerington, Ohio.
Devon Hamilton, it's exactly what you need from your defensive tackle. He stands the offensive lineman up. This is where hands play such a big part, is that he extends his arms, plays with his hands, and then he's able to shed the block and get Pirine to the ground, as that's going to do it for the third quarter. OU needs this one. Big series for the Sooners, Gus.
And welcome back to Fox College Football, presented by Geico. Start of the fourth quarter in Norman. Ohio State with a big second quarter as we take a look at the scoring by quarters. But Oklahoma showing signs, down 42-24. Gus Johnson, Joel Klatt, Shannon Spake with you.
Crucial third down here. A must convert for Oklahoma.
3rd down and 2 at the 44 for the Sooners. Mayfield in the shotgun. Westbrook the motion man. They hand it off. Pirine. He'll crawl forward and pick up the 1st down.
They use Westbrook in that motion to try to freeze the defense's eyes and then use Pirine to get north and south vertically in one of those seams and dive for the 1st down, and they were able to do it.
From the 48. Pirine again. And Ohio State doing a nice job on Pirine.
Yep.
They are limiting his opportunities to get downhill.
That's number 35.
Chris Worley.
Worley is one of the guys that the coaches singled out, said he had a fantastic fall camp. He's been playing great football so far early in this season.
Back in a moment. Fox College Football presented by Geico is sponsored by Verizon. Welcome to Verizon LTE Advanced, the next-gen network. And by KFC, go Buckeyes. It's finger-licking good. 42-24, Ohio State, the 3rd-ranked team in the nation, taking on 14th-ranked Oklahoma. Sooners starting to find a rhythm on offense against this Ohio State defense, who's been excellent for most of this game. 2nd and 6 at the 48. Play fake. Mayfield slings it up top. Intercepted again by the Buckeyes. Marshawn Lattimore laid out and brought it in. The 3rd interception for Ohio State tonight, the 2nd for Lattimore. He had 2 last week against Tulsa.
Lattimore ran the route for him. A.D. Miller, number 13, is trying to get on top. Lattimore does an amazing job of staying on top of the receiver. He never let him even get even with him. That is textbook man-to-man coverage right there. And that's, if there's any time to drop out of the route and throw that back shoulder throw, that would be it. A.D. Miller was just never able to get there because Lattimore just turned and immediately sprinted. We'll see if he actually does haul it in. Tough to tell on that look.
Lattimore, a sophomore from Cleveland. These Ohio State players, and that one looks like it did bounce around a bit.
Yeah, it did. And remember, it's not the movement, it's the control. And it looked like he lost control of that ball as he was going to the ground. Right there, it kind of sneaks out to his right shoulder, and then he grasps it with his right hand. And that looks like, at least to me, partner, that's an incomplete pass, as right there the ball actually leaves his hands and he loses control going to the ground.
And at this point in the game, Oklahoma would love to catch a break to try to keep the drive going.
Unbelievable play there by Lattimore, and tough read for Mayfield, but as they show it here in the stadium, he certainly believes what I believe, which is that this is going to be overturned because of that key word of control going to the ground in the catch, no catch scenario.
Fans looking at it right now on the scoreboard.
What you have to look for in those situations, is there any adjustment with the hands after the perceived movement or loss of control? And there certainly was the right hand for Lattimore. As Lattimore goes to the ground, watch his right hand throughout the catch process. As he rolls over the ball.
It's an incomplete pass.
And that right hand, that adjustment there, great call by the officials up in the replay booth, and a great break for Baker Mayfield in this OU offense now. Lattimore on the sideline along with Urban Meyer. Don't like it, certainly the correct call. They got it right. Now OU gets a shot here.
3rd down and 6 at the 48. for Oklahoma. Mixon in the backfield now lines up in the slot on the far side. Mayfield, quick strike. Westbrook bottled up, and he will not get the first down. Questionable call on that 3rd down and 6. Malik Hooker with the tackle.
Well, there was no one to block the safety. They were trying to sneak the offensive tackle all the way out to block the safety. And on 3rd and 6, I could see that on 3rd and 2 if he's got to dive for a first down. But clearly he knew it was 4-down territory. He had 2 play calls lined up. Didn't gain any yardage, but Mayfield will stay on the field.
So 4th down and 7 after 1-yard loss at the 49 for Oklahoma. Mayfield dancing around in the pocket, in trouble. Mayfield will take the sack at the 39. Sam Hubbard, Jerome Baker, 2nd sack of the night for the Buckeyes.
And they were given great time by their secondary. This secondary has been excellent so far. Only returning starter was Conley, the corner number 8. But in the back end, there's nowhere to throw the ball. Mayfield's looking, he tries to buy some time, and eventually that rush gets to him. Sam Hubbard closes the gap, brings him to the ground. Lincoln Riley cannot believe it. Nobody open in the back end. Ohio State, too quick, fast, and athletic in the secondary.
Sooners turn it over on downs. Buckeyes on the 39. Samuel in motion. Weber. And one thing that you always know that you're going to see with an Ohio State team is toughness.
That's right.
Reminds me of a story when I was in Germany doing soccer. And I got into a conversation with a German guy in Munich. And he was talking about the toughness of the Germans. And how, as Americans, we weren't as tough as them. And I said, obviously, sir, you've never been to Ohio. 2nd down and 6 at the 35. JT Barrett, he's from Texas.
Well, this defense being called upon once more to try to bow their neck. But it's so difficult when you're constantly in what I would call base down situations, like 2nd and 6, 3rd and less than 3, because the entire playbook is available to the offense. And so you have to stay basic on defense, play base defense, read it out, read your keys. There's nothing that you can attack tendency-wise when you don't get them in obvious down situations.
3rd down and 2 at the 31. Weber, first down. And Weber gets to the 17-yard line. Ahmad Thomas finally stops him. If not, he could have ran that one all the way in, and another Sooner down.
That's Stephen Parker, number 10. He was banged up in that Houston game as well to start the season.
12:01 to go in the 4th. Back after this.
Here's some players to keep an eye on for the Nissan Heisman Watch. McCaffrey's been special again. 260 total yards, 2 touchdowns tonight against USC. Lamar Jackson is Lamarvelous. This dude is unreal. Hey, JT Barrett, quietly, I would say, getting himself back in that Heisman conversation like he was 2 years ago before he broke his leg against Michigan. And then Donnell Pumphrey. I think some of the guys at the Group of 5 level and on the West Coast don't get enough credit. Pumphrey's certainly one of those guys. He went for 217 total yards today and 3 touchdowns.
1st down and 10 at the 17. Curtis Samuel in the backfield with JT Barrett. They run the option. Barrett with a pitch. Samuel turns it up and gets out of bounds around the 10-yard line.
The best thing a quarterback can do is attack the inside shoulder of the pitch man. So that's the unblocked player when you run option. Watch Barrett. See how he attacks the inside shoulder, forces the defender to commit, and then pitches the ball outside. That is textbook details. Greatness is realized through the attention to details, and that's what we just saw there.
And you are seeing a great college player in J.T. Barrett. 2nd and 5 at the 12. Weber pushing through. Barrett showing the sportsmanship, helping up Jordan Wade. Wade 6'3", 310.
That defense has been on the field a long time tonight. These drives have been long for Ohio State and methodical.
Punishing drives. 3rd down and 2 at the 9. Play fake. Barrett in the corner, incomplete. Intended for Noah Brown again. Broken up though by Jordan Thomas.
Well, this is the exact technique that they were talking to us about this week. They needed to be patient, and Jordan Thomas was patient finally against Noah Brown and allowed the route to develop and then played the ball. Excellent job by Jordan Thomas, and they finally get a stop against Noah Brown. Every time that they've tried to attempt to pass to him, it's ended up for a touchdown.
And the offense heading to the sideline. Urban Meyer may be thinking about going for this. Buckeyes call a timeout. 10:36 to go in the 4th. They're trying to put away Oklahoma, maybe right here. (42-24) Ohio State. Buckeyes with the football on the Oklahoma 9-yard line, and they're electing to go for it on 4th down and 2.
Yeah, they want to put a nail in this thing right here.
Barrett quickly to the line of scrimmage. They'll try to draw the Sooners offside.
They almost got him there. You saw Sooner jump, just got himself back. And now they'll look to the sideline, look for a play.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
That's good strategy because this close, he wanted the center to snap it right there. Pat Elflein. That's the key right there. When someone jumps into the neutral zone, the center should have snapped it right away rather than waiting for the penalty flag to come out. But the reason you take a delay of game there is the angle. See, in the NFL, the hash marks are so tight you don't have to worry about the angle, but the college level, you want to increase your angle.
Tyler Durbin from 31 yards away, and he strokes it. Ohio State adding to their lead, 45-24 now. Let's take a look at the road ahead for Ohio State, sponsored by Coors Light. Whatever your mountain, climb on.
Well, they've put everybody on notice, so regardless who's on their schedule, everyone's going to be looking at the Buckeyes and looking at just a loaded team. Rutgers, Indiana, at Camp Randall, although Wisconsin struggled with Georgia State today at home. Will travel to Penn State and then Northwestern. You know, the real meat outside of that Wisconsin matchup is at the end. Their last 2 matchups, November 19th at Michigan State, who had an incredible win today, at Notre Dame, and then the big one against that school up north. That one this year is at the Shoe.
And a look at Oklahoma's road ahead.
Well, next week they'll have a bye week, try to get themselves right for a visit to Gary Patterson's TCU squad, and then the Red River Ball game in Dallas. And then they'll go Kansas State at Texas Tech, which is always a sneaky tough place to play, and then Kansas.
New attendance record tonight in Norman, 87,979 to watch the Buckeyes play the Sooners. And a flag, that one going out of bounds.
There was a second flag that actually came out all the way up here near the 40-yard line, right when our referee, John O'Neill, was about to make the call.
Free kick out of bounds by the kicking team. Ball will be placed at the 35-yard line on the right after the play was over. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 35 on the kicking team. That will be assessed at the 35-yard line. First down.
35 is Chris Worley. And let's quickly check in with Mike Hill for a game break.
All right, guys, number 11, Texas at Cal. Told you Shane Buechele had to leave the game early with a chest injury. I think he's okay. Finds Ja'Cory Ward here for the 41-yard score. High-scoring first half, 31-28 Horns in the second.
And remember, we called the Cal-Texas game last year in Austin, which also was a high-scoring affair. Jared Goff and the Bears winning that game in Austin. Mixon running the football. Not a lot of room. Raekwon McMillan, the middle linebacker. McMillan, Buckeyes Award finalist and second-team All-American in 2015. Had 119 tackles, second and 11. Mayfield looking underneath. Mixon with the catch. And he'll dive forward. Lattimore with the tackle.
And these defensive backs have done such a good job down the field. You constantly see Baker Mayfield having to hold the ball in the pocket and getting a little bit antsy. Finally, he got the ball out to his outlet. Joe Mixon, who's got to exit the game now, limping a little bit as Pirine will be just to the left of Baker Mayfield.
Flowers the motion man. Pirine, nothing. Stood up, driven backwards. That Ohio State front seven has been excellent. Jalen Holmes, Raekwon McMillan.
You just got to love what Luke Fickell has been able to do, the defensive coordinator, and then the new guy, who's kind of an old guy.
That's
Greg
right.
Schiano, and what he's done with this secondary. There's Luke Fickell. High intensity, great on-field coach. When you see him in practice, he's one of the best in the country. Co-defensive coordinator with Greg Schiano, who's done a marvelous job with this secondary.
4th down and 4 for Oklahoma. Mayfield scrambling again. Mayfield will not get the first down. We told you that this Ohio State team can tackle in space. That time it was Jerome Baker, the sophomore from Cleveland. And Ohio State will get the football once again. 8:42 to play in the fourth. Buckeyes up big. Fox College Football presented by Geico is sponsored by Dr. Pepper. It's a college football tradition. 45-24 Ohio State. Let's go down to Shannon.
Well, Gus, you remember the comments that Austin Kendall, the backup quarterback for Oklahoma, made earlier this week about this Ohio State defense? Well, the fans here, they have not forgotten. They are chanting, "We want Kendall," and you can see some of the unique signs that they have made to support that.
All right, thank you very much, Barrett, running the ball. Well, Kendall got a lot of attention this week for calling Ohio State's defense basic and for claiming that Baker Mayfield was going to have a field day.
Said he was going to light him up. Now, clearly, you know, as a young player, you can get carried away at times. And schematically, he's actually right. You know, they don't do a lot on defense. They line up and they play because they have great players. You know what it reminds me a lot of? Texas in 2005, who lined up in their 4-3 defense, played quarters behind it, and just said, you can't beat us. And nobody could.
Austin Kendall is a freshman. As Mike Weber runs the football, another freshman. But Urban Meyer, you know what? He pulled out all the cliches this week.
Yep.
He said, this one's real, real. Most prepared team will win. Our toughness will be challenged. Gotta survive the storm. We're in enemy territory. Ultimate gut check. This is going to be a street fight. This will be the challenge of all challenges.
What I love is he doesn't shy away from saying things like, hey, yeah, this is a big game. You know, it's not just any other week. We're going to Oklahoma. His players understood that. He wanted them to be hyper-focused, and they certainly were.
And Barrett running forward. One thing, though, about Coach Meyer, 52 years old in his 5th year at Ohio State. He's just done everything in college football.
Yeah.
2 national championships at Florida, a national championship a couple of years ago here at Ohio State. His Buckeyes have been ranked in the top 10 in each of the last 25 AP polls. He's won 12 or more games in each of his first 4 seasons. Man, a few words to the media. We talked to him on the phone on Wednesday. And you can feel the quiet strength, focus, and discipline.
Confidence. His players feel it too.
Master strategist, master motivator. Look at that. Perfect example. Downed at the 1-yard line, a 47-yard punt. Urban Meyer, since coming to Ohio State, 52-4, won a national championship already. He's 12-3 versus top 25 teams. Heading to 19-0 on the road. I mean, I think that's the most amazing stat right there.
That's silly. That's silly. He has not lost a true road game as the head coach of the Ohio State Buckeyes. That's absurd, you know, and it goes to his level of preparation. No stone is left unturned. Urban Meyer thinks of everything, and he allows his players to focus on just their job.
Mayfield throwing out of his own end zone over the middle, incomplete. Buckeyes still playing hard. Damon Webb that time, intended for Geno Davis.
You know, as we're prepping for this game, you come across stats sometimes that blow you away. That's certainly one of them. Here's another one. He's the only man in college football history to have 4 different winning streaks of over 20 games. That's absurd.
First year at Ohio State, when they weren't allowed to compete in the postseason, he went undefeated.
Didn't lose at Ohio State until his 2nd season in the Big Ten championship game to Michigan State. That was a 24-game winning streak. He had a 20-plus game winning streak his last stint at Utah into Florida, one at Florida. I mean, this guy is phenomenal, and everywhere he goes, he wins. He brings a level of intensity and focus that is rare and unmatched.
Mayfield again throwing out of the end zone, now scrambling, in trouble, throws off his back foot. Ball up in the air and incomplete. Buckeyes giving no ground.
It's part of the reason some would ask, and I've been asked, why would Greg Schiano as Baker Mayfield, we'll just look if he stepped out? No, definitely didn't. He was still in the end zone as he releases that ball. But why would a guy like Greg Schiano go be an assistant coach? Part of it is he wants to go work with Urban Meyer.
Well, a former head coach in the NFL who was a tremendously successful football coach at Rutgers and now a co-defensive coordinator. So I think that is amazing. Urban Meyer says he normally doesn't hire friends. Schiano has been a friend of his for over 20 years.
Ohio State was trying to run a player off the field.
Illegal substitution. 12 defensive players in formation. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
And one of the most impressive performances that I've ever watched as a fan in college football, a couple of years ago, semifinal game against Alabama, his nemesis Nick Saban. Ohio State dominated that game in such a physical way that they just overwhelmed the Crimson Tide. I've never seen so many Alabama players walking off the field with injuries. Wilson fighting and finally goes down. Now next week college football kicks off Friday when USC takes on Utah at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on FS1. Then on Saturday, Boise State battles Oregon State at 3:30 p.m. on FS1. We will be in Waco, Texas as Oklahoma State faces number 21 Baylor at 7 p.m. Eastern on Fox. Big win for Oklahoma State in Stillwater today, beating Pitt as Mason Rudolph threw for 540 yards, 2 touchdowns, school record for yards. And on BTN next week, Nebraska, big win over Oregon today, squares off against Northwestern at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. 5:25 to go. Here's Weber. And our Dickey's performance of the game goes to
Noah Brown. Who else? 3 for 3 in this first half. Comes out, gets a 4th touchdown. And his 4th target, got 1 other catch, but that was the
incredible
cream on top. I mean, just an insane catch.
As Rob Stone said, drop the mic after that one.
That's right.
Weber. And he's close to the first down. Jordan Wade. There's Noah. Most Noahs have 2 of everything. He's got 4 tonight.
Yes, he does.
4 touchdowns.
And they just didn't have an answer, you know, in those one-on-one situations. And Oklahoma tends to live by their man coverage and die by their man coverage. And tonight, Noah Brown was just better in those situations, those 50-50 situations. You know, Oklahoma doesn't have an interception yet in their secondary. And Ohio State has been winning those 50-50 situations with their defense, and we just haven't seen it with the Sooners yet.
Weber. First down, Ohio State.
Here's what's so impressive to me is when Urban Meyer first came to Ohio State and into the Big Ten, there was many questions, and I even wondered myself about if he was going to be able to turn them into the speed and talent and athletic defense and team that he was coaching in the SEC at Florida, and he has certainly done that. But here's the kicker, Gus. He retained that Big Ten toughness on the offensive line. They just maul people. They've got this great system and big offensive linemen. They run downhill with their zone read. They've got this H-back floating around, pulling around. It's very difficult to stop.
Weber running again.
I would say this is a more powerful run game than what he featured at Florida. But what he's done is he's gotten the athleticism around that run game and offensive line like he had. Curtis Samuel, great example, number 4. Who does Urban Meyer compare Samuel to?
Percy Harvin. Percy Harvin not only winning a national championship, but a Super Bowl with the Seattle Seahawks.
And those are the types of players. Now he's got guys like Noah Brown, and now he's reloading. You know, Mike Weber for Ezekiel Elliott, and the quarterback J.T. Barrett.
Here's the reverse. Wilson. And another first down for the Buckeyes. Under 3 minutes to play. Quick with the tackle. On the other sideline, Bob Stoops, 2nd loss of the season. They lost the opener to Houston, now throttled by Ohio State on their home field. Where does he go from here?
Well, they certainly have to regroup, and for this team, you know, their goals are going to have to change a little bit, and they're going to have to get much more nearer term. You know, they came in talking about playoff and getting back and avenging that loss that they had to Clemson. They had their quarterback back, and they had some great running backs and talent.
Weber, and this time will be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage as Emmanuel Beal comes up and makes the tackle.
But now you got to start thinking about winning the Big 12. And after a bye week, that starts with their visit to TCU, and then will likely be there, Gus, for Red River as they face Texas and trying to avenge that loss that they had a year ago in the Cotton Bowl. But this team is very talented. I mean, this schedule has been brutal. Oh, Houston's a really good team, and Ohio State, my goodness, this is as good as it gets. There's no question.
Tough early season schedule for the Sooners. Weber again. First down, Buckeyes. So the question coming into this season, coming into this game, Ohio State, a young team, were they ready?
Well, Gus, you know, you can throw out like, hey, they're a young team, and we hear that. They were the least experienced team in the entire country. 128 out of 128 in terms of returning starters, only 6. They lost 12 guys to the draft, 5 first-rounders. You don't generally just line up and replace those guys and keep rolling. That's exactly what they've done. And the uncertainty that I talked about in the open of this game of how would they react in the big moment and in the big environment. they've reacted even better than the last version of Ohio State. The last couple of years, this team miles ahead of where that 2014 team was at this point.
And one reason they have a great shot is because the man under center, Joe Thomas Barrett. He is their leader. He is their mastermind. And a brilliant performance by JT this evening, the leader of the Ohio State Buckeyes, who come into Norman tonight and send a clear message to the college football world. 45-24. They'll be ranked second in the country next week. Let's go downstairs to Shannon Spake.
Coach Meyer just giving some handshakes right now to the Oklahoma team. Coach Meyer, congratulations. You know, so much has been talked about this team and its youth. When you look at a performance like that, where do you think that they grew up the most tonight?
Well, you go on the road and play a great team, you find out about yourself, and we found a bunch of courageous guys that went in a hostile environment. The great thing is we can play a lot better, but that was a good team we played, and our guys played well.
That'd be scary a little bit better. Let's talk about JT Barrett. How does his poise and his leadership affect everything that you guys did offensively tonight?
The sign of a leader is you raise the level of play of those around you, and he does that. I mean, there's a bunch of young cats out there playing first time this, first time that, and behind the leader behind center, that really matters.
You talked to me going into halftime about Noah Brown, and you just said he's been pretty great.
Yeah.
But how does he open up everything you want to do offensively moving forward?
Well, I love Noah. I love Noah. He had a tough injury a year ago, and kind of makes you very proud, like a proud dad, to see him score a couple touchdowns.
He scored a couple of them tonight, 4. Thank you, Coach. Tied for a Ohio State record. When you look at the performance that you guys did tonight on the road, how does Coach Meyer get you guys ready for games like this? 19-0 on the road he is.
I think it's a testimony to our program. You know, we got a young team, but as you can see, you know, we got a lot of talent in our team. So to come out here on the road and play big like this, you know, true testament to our coaching and to the development of our players.
I know the performance that you guys had tonight, or you had tonight, is all about this team and getting this victory. But when you look at 4 touchdowns, a school record, tied for a school record, what does that mean to you personally?
Oh, man, I'm just blessed to be back out here with my teammates, man. Coach Meyer was saying all week, you know, this is the type of game where you need players to play their best when they're needed the most. And I feel like I owe that to my teammates. JT did a great job giving me the ball, and I try to come down with it for my teammates.
And you did that. Congratulations.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Gus?
All right, thank you very much, Shannon. The final score here in Norman, Oklahoma, Ohio State 45, Oklahoma 24. Rob Stone and the guys will be back at you right after this.